Yes, 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 yes. Oh, this is going to be a great show. Oh,
Yes, it is.
anybody who's listened to YKF, your kinky friends, and the real heads have been out there since the beginning, knows this woman. Oh my God, I am so honored to talk to this person. And after all these years, that's what the kink community does. It brings everybody back. It's a circle, and we're all going around and round on it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nicholas Tannick. This is your kinky friends, also known as YKF. Everything we talk about today is between consenting adults. We're adults. This is a culture. This is a lifestyle. Please don't judge. We're good people. We really are. We're good people. We're trying to make through in the world. We're trying to express ourselves sexually, artistically, poetically, even politically in many ways. We're living our lives. Please do not judge. Be cool. Be kind. Keep an open mind. This is your kinky friends. Kinky. San Francisco is in the house. Yeah. All right, let's get down to it. Vinyl Queen is here from San Francisco. Oh my God. So I interviewed Vinyl Queen in the very, very early days. I'm sure I was a mess. I'm kind of scared to go back to that interview, but I just put it up on Spotify and everyone can see it. And now we're gonna catch up again. It's been years, many years, and a liver transplant, a pandemic, and a whole bunch of things since last time we talked. So this is going to be very, very fun. Please, everyone, go to yourkinkyfriends.com. Yourkinkyfriends.com. We have a lot of things up there, and all the writing, and all the books, and everything there. It's all there. And please, we need money. Patreon.com/YKF. And also Kink Helps Kink. Please join the Kink Helps Kink movement. We need poetry. We're putting the poetry book together. Poetry and art. Kink Helps Kinks. If you help someone who's kinky, if someone's kinky's help you, let's tell their story. Come on, we got to put that energy out there. You know what I mean? And of course, get 15% all inventory at lockedandlust.com with offer YKF. The best chastity device is the one that fits. And also, check out the crotch rocket, also called the saddle, the strap on for, you put your chastity sub in there and you just ride and ride and ride, squirt in seconds. You tease his cock, he doesn't come, you do. What more can you ask for? You get 50% off with offer code YKF. Also, listen to it on Spotify. But we are here. We're going to talk about San Francisco. We're going to talk about vinyl. We're going to talk, oh my God, we're going to talk about so much stuff. And it's so glad, I'm so inspired and thankful. Vinyl Queen is here. So Vinyl Queen, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start it off. What's inspiring you these days?
What's inspiring me is just trying to keep my name out there. It's become a challenging market. And so, all of the work that I did for promoting myself over basically 20 years kind of went away. So now it's like I'm rebuilding, just like most of my peers, of trying to get entirely new generations to know about me and what I do.
So since we talked, do you remember what it was like since we last talked? What happened since the last time we talked? What was your impression of our interview the first time?
Oh, interviews are interviews. I mean, they manifest. You talk about yourself. You get your point of view out there. It was better than a text interview. I think that I have very few actual video interviews, and so that's what I liked about it.
I appreciate that. Okay. So Vinyl Queen, you've been a professional dominatrix in San Francisco Bay Area. Shout out to the Bay. Love the Bay Area. 1997. That's 28 years.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take us back to the beginning. What inspired all of this?
Personal kink. Wanting to engage what was in my mind with other people. Because we were in that sweet spot of AOL, and AOL was way ahead of its time. And we could interact with people quickly via, all of the instant messaging, everything that social media has now, AOL had back then. And it was a way to meet people quickly. I was going to play parties, and all of my amateur interests ended up manifesting into me turning pro because I was doing so much of it that I thought, hey, why not charge?
Yeah. Now, San Francisco's legendary, not only in the BDSM scene, but in everything in America. I'm familiar. I first fell in love with San Francisco during the rave scene, going to raves out there,
Mm-hmm.
the party scene, the energy, everything like that. So, how was San Francisco? What role did San Francisco play in your journey?
San Francisco was crazy then. There was bondage go-go. There were fetish balls. There were so many things going on simultaneously. It was outstanding. I used to go to bondage go-go by myself, dressed in fetish gear, drive myself over to the club. I still can't believe I did this. Park across the street and go into the club on Wednesday nights. And it just, there was such a welcoming vibe there. There was just so much going on.
Now, you're also from my research and people, you're like the OG of trampling.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right. So we get a lot of people. We may get some people saying, "Did you ever trample a male?" They always just come in the chat. Did you ever trample a male? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this woman did.
And all the time.
How did the specialty of trampling come about?
Well, my very first paid professional session involved trampling. I didn't know it was going to involve trampling. It was supposed to be negotiated foot worship. And then the gentleman, who I am still in contact with, he laid down and he said, "I would like you to step on me." And I said, "I am going to hurt you." And he said, "It's not going to be that bad." And I figured out where I could go in the room to stand on him. And then it was like magic. Like, I have to do this more. This is one of the best things ever.
So let me put a picture in my head here. So he's on the ground, on the floor, on a mat or carpet or hardwood floor.
Just it was in a hotel room.
Okay. Yeah. Naked.
I think he was that, or with underwear, but yeah, he had most of his clothes off. Yeah.
Were you wearing shoes or barefoot?
Oh no, I was wearing heels because that's why I was concerned. Yeah.
So what was the very first step that you took on? Where was it on his body?
I went on his chest, like his stomach. He was like, "Yeah, just step up there." And I said, "Okay."
And you put both feet, all your weight on it?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, balancing on someone's chest and heels. All right. What advice would you give to the next person who wants to balance themselves on standing on someone's chest with heels?
Do balance exercises. Seriously, because I started it when I was relatively young, and you have a very good sense of balance. If you're getting into trampling 40 plus, and you can go online, and there are all these balance exercises, and and to be honest, I do them from time to time to kind of verify that I've still got my game going. But it is, if you are going to be on someone's body in high heels, you need to have a way to support for the oh shit moment.
Yeah. So what do you use? What do you use to hold on to, or do you do it I imagine the hallway might be best because there's two walls.
I've done that. If I'm in a studio, then there's always some sort of suspension equipment that I can hold on to. There's going to be maybe a spreader bar. Also, if you are in an Airbnb, wherever there's a breakfast nook and there's kind of a bar, then you can just use that to hold on to.
Okay, let's say I want someone to trample me, right? My queen, I'm on the floor. I'm on my back. My queen has heels. She's never stepped on me before. I've never had her step on me before. What is the mistake that we could make, that we should be aware of?
The mistake is that you're starting off with heels. She should start off barefoot.
Ah, Okay, thanks. See, this is an educational show.
It's because to me, kink is always like going to the gym. You don't put the treadmill on high. You don't go over to the squat rack and put all of the plates on. You have to start with the bar. You have to start on low. So you start with bare feet so that she can get the lay of the land and figure out, because each body is a landscape.
Kink is like always going to the gym. That's layered. That's pretty layered. All right, so let me ask you this: trampling? What makes it so central to your practice?
Because I am into it. There are people, just like in other aspects of kink, who do it, well, for the money, or they're asked to do it, but they're not personally that engaged in it. Oh, okay, fine, I'll trample you. And while I'm trampling somebody, I get ideas. I get really inspired, and then I communicate that with the person below me, and then there's an interchange about whatever we're doing.
You're getting ideas. So you're standing on something. What is the thing that really sparks that? Because this whole show is about inspiration, imagination. So is it their moans, or is it your kind of losing balance, or is it the soft tissue? Like, what is the thing that it really inspires you when you're on top of somebody?
As soon as I I start trampling somebody, my mind goes to a different place.
Yeah.
And then it has nothing to do with, because I have plenty of people who I trample who are very quiet. And it's just, I'm looking down, and then whatever arrangement we have, maybe they are the type of shoes, maybe their position. There's a lot of variations that then inspire me.
Okay, so now, as you know, I had a liver transplant in the Vinyl Queen. My stomach is, I gotta be very careful about what's going on, but I love it when the women walk all over me. So how can I do this in a healthy way?
Well, there's a cheat that you could try that somebody used with me, and he got a rubber mat like you put in the bottom of the shower so that you don't slip. And those mats are fairly thick, and you can, because he couldn't have any marks, but he wanted the experience. If you put that on your chest, then that will go ahead and mediate the heels. Pardon me.
Okay. What now with all these trampling, right? It can be the symbolism of it, the imagery of it, the beautiful frustration that comes with it. You must have some stories about the early days of just starting. And did anything happen? Do you have any wild things of early days of trampling that cemented this reputation you have?
Well, I used to see Trample Guy on a regular basis. You're gonna have to pardon me because I came back from Europe sick, so I have a cough that I'm battling in the middle trying to talk to you. One moment. I have lemon and honey and water next to me to make it easier to talk. Anyway, I used to see Trample Guy on a regular basis when he would come out to the Bay Area. He was working in the area. And that collaboration of seeing him on a regular basis was so amazing. He is kind of up for anything. We would do double trampling sessions. We explored all sorts of different types of shoes, jumping, face standing, standing on his neck, just all sorts of different options that I couldn't have done with just somebody here and there. And he is still somebody that I trample twice a year.
Standing on someone's neck, little daunting, little dangerous, little risky. How do you do it safe?
Okay, so this is one of those things where I'm going to make a big warning, because there is an interest in it right now of standing on somebody's neck until they pass out. Do not do this. Unsafe at any speed. Please. It's fine until it's not. You don't want to hear the stories of people who have died in their kink practices, not just in trampling, but it's usually involving breath play. And again, it's fine until it's not. With Trample Guy, I know him. We've negotiated our risk, and I am not trampling his neck for the purpose of making him pass out. That is not what the goal is. And I never want to do that.
All right. Your bio mentions that you're an equal opportunity tormentor.
Yes.
Yeah. And if anyone over 18, so that means it's regardless of your gender, or you draw the line. What do you draw the line at, Vinyl Queen?
Well, people they're mean. I mean,
People jerks. You draw the line of jerks. So this philosophy, what's the philosophy behind this approach? How has it shaped the clients you attract?
Well, I mean, like I don't. If you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're non-binary, if you are, whatever your flavor is, it doesn't matter to me. I just want you to be kinky and have the same interests as I do, or share the same interests. We have to have a common ground.
So beyond trampling, you're incredibly diverse. First of all, there's corporal punishment, there's nipple torment, CBT, electrical play, bondage, role playing, all of this stuff. It's pretty impressive. It's wildly amazing. What surprises you the most, and what surprises other people the most?
I think what surprises other people the most is that I actually enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
That, there's many other types of S&M that I don't do because I don't enjoy them. It doesn't mean that I haven't tried them. I just tried it and said, I don't want to do that again. So what I'm doing with you, I'm into it. And I like the fact that we are on a journey of I'm going to most likely hurt you. And then you are going to, be there with me. And then we are going to have an energy exchange.
What out of all these things, like electrical play, CBT, nipple torment, bondage, role playing, and all that stuff, what have you evolved? What have you enjoyed being evolved over the years? Because it does. All of these fetishes, they change and they grow, even not just through on their own, but within ourselves, right? So, what have you enjoyed seeing evolve over the years?
What I've enjoyed seeing evolve is that I still love corporal discipline very much, but I like seeing your face. I like having you face me. One moment. I like seeing your reaction. When you're turned away, you can kind of go to your happy place. And that's fine. But in general, most of the activities that I return to, I want to flip you over and I want to do something to you so that I can see your face and keep you present. So I don't want you to just go on a little trip. I want you there with me.
So, do you prefer pegging face to face?
I rarely peg and do not do that face to face. That is something that, first of all, a lot of people who contact me are not able to understand the concept of being clean. And it's also something to where I just don't want to do it with everybody.
I totally get that. 100%. That's a big clean. Yeah. Come on. Subs, come on. Wash your ass. Come on. All right. No, let's we're gonna keep this a positive show, right? You're Vinyl Queen. You're legendary. Your wardrobe is legendary, Vinyl Queen. Leather, latex, PVC, corsets, boots, endless collection of high-heeled shoes. What's your ultimate favorite piece in your wardrobe?
If I have to make a decision about that, I probably have to settle actually on leather, because I have a leather jacket that I received as a gift in 2000, and it was from Northbound Leather, and it is so versatile. It has a lacing in the back, a corset back, and I think that that's probably my favorite piece because I know it will last forever.
Last forever. Hmm. Now, how do you curate all this stuff? Is there a huge wardrobe and all the I mean, it takes care, but it takes space, air.
Mhm.
You can't have it musty and mold, stuff like that. So how do you and then plus on top of that, you have to find the stuff that you like. I'm sure there's a lot of it's gifted to you and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's all part of the process. What's the process of curating all this stuff?
Well, I keep everything. I mean, I have a wardrobe rack, so the vinyl is in one area, and then that has to be the red has to be separated from the white, from the darker colors, because they will take up the colors. The red and the white will take up any color that touches them. So I usually have, something to separate those vinyl pieces. Um, the leather is again separated from the vinyl, and the latex, that's all um, folded in tissue paper, in Ziplocs, in plastic tubs. And then the shoes, they live in a completely different closet, and they're all in plastic boxes, and they're barcoded.
They're barcoded. So you have a database of shoes?
I found an item on Amazon, and this is for anybody. And this doesn't have to be purchased on Amazon if you don't like Amazon. And the tape is called Bit Rip. And it, it's QR tape. And you cut it off, you stick it on the item, shoes, tools, whatever it is you want to keep track of. And then I take a pic. So I have the shoe, I take a picture of the shoe, I put the tape on it, I enter the tape into the database. This is what I did during the pandemic, and entered all my shoes into this database. And then now when I do like a custom shoot with Trample Guy, he will say to me, "Hey, what do you have in the way of red strappy shoes?" I go to the database, enter in the tags that I've put in: red, strappy, usually flat front because platforms are not a thing. And then it shows me, oh, you have this number of pairs. And then I share with him those images.
How many shoes would you say you have?
I think I'm close to 300.
300? No. You just made so many people jealous. You made all the foot fetishes like drool in their pants and drip in their cavity cages, and all the all the other people like, I wish I had that. All right. Is there a particular piece that I get? I don't know. Maybe it's the romantic in me. I attach meaning to everything. Even this
Yes.
tie.
Yes.
This tie is a special meaning.
Yes.
Sunshine, the woman who's I'm locked in chastity right now. I'm wearing guard belts and
Hmm.
stockings underneath all of this.
Nice.
This was the first gift that was given to me. So this is like this tie represents like the beginning, the new era of
Yes.
your kinky friends. You know what I mean? I get like that. Do you get
Hmm.
like that with your vinyl and your clothes?
Yes. Most everything has a story.
Yeah.
And because if it wasn't gifted, then I bought it, and there usually is some sort of,
Of course.
story about how I got the thing.
It is, and
And
it adds a whole new life to the piece as
yes,
well.
yes. The
Nothing wrong with
shoes
getting
all
stuff
have
online. That's
stories
all
as
great.
well.
But like going to a store or like knowing somebody and you can say, I'm gonna, it's a
Well,
special
you know
feeling.
what? It doesn't even matter if it's online, because online, that's its own special set of challenges.
Yeah.
I have some stockings I'm chasing right now, and they are constantly saying that they're out of stock, and I'm like, ah, I want these.
Yeah. You wonder okay. Sessions with you require at least 7 days in advance booking. Is that correct?
Well, it's about 5 to 7, probably.
Well, business 7, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
But you're available pretty much every day during the week. So could you
yeah.
just kind of walk us through what a typical session looks like from your perspective?
Meaning, like, once the session begins?
Yeah,
Or, like,
even before that, like, so
how we're negotiating?
yeah, even that. Yeah, just take a quick walkthrough.
Well,
Whatever you want.
usually, I mean, email is my preferred method of contact. There's no more phone calls. And somebody contacts me, they let me know what their interests are, hopefully. And usually I ask age, interests, level of experience. Um, those are probably the 3 things that are the most important, and then I dive down deeper within the interests to make sure that we're compatible. Oh, and if when are they gonna be in the area is also are they local or out of town?
And how do you prepare for session? Do you have a are you like kind of ritualistic about it, or can you just like do it on the fly? Do you have a special
Um, I definitely think I have a process because there's I mean, the night before, that's when I'm really it's not necessarily even the night before when I'm thinking about the session. Usually once the session is, like, set into the calendar, it's gonna kind of be, background processing in my brain in some way. And then as we get closer to the date, I'm still thinking about it much more so the night before, and then the day of, the night before I've also laid out my clothes. I've usually pack everything the night before so that then the day of I just have to, get ready and head on out.
content creation, media, loyal fans? You
Mhm.
update it all the time. You update it, a couple times a week. You got clips for sale. YouTube. You're on YouTube, Instagram, X. You got Reddit. You have a Reddit group or a Discord group. Um, Technology's changing so quick.
Yes, it
And
is.
I remember when
Oh
I
my
first
gosh.
got on the internet. Seriously, I was like one of the first people, the people I know, my circle, and that helped get me a job. Um, Let me ask you this: How has
Helped me get a
content
job too at this job.
how has content creation changed since you first started in the late 90s?
Everybody's doing it now. When
Yeah,
I first started well, I love to tell this story, and if you've heard it before, well, then you're gonna hear it again.
please.
In 2000, I got my first well, it was streaming. It was streaming before there was streaming, and 1 hour a week, I needed to go live. I had to find a different video slave every week, which was very, very challenging, and I went to this location, and then we would play live for 1 hour, there's no breaks, and the negotiation was if I did that, then I could keep the content myself and have that ensuing video be available on my site, not only live, but for watching later. And of course, we've changed from that to now we have phones that do everything. We don't need special cameras anymore or Windows streaming servers or all of the things that happened before YouTube.
Yeah, when I first started this, I thought I was like the coolest guy because I was actually interviewing people with video. Everyone's just doing audio podcasts, and I thought I was, I wanted to I wanted to capture who they really they are. Now it's just like a phone call. Everyone's just interviewing everybody online, and a lot of slop out there, as they call it. They say it. Uh,
Yes.
but it's a wild world. You put yourself online, you get this feedback. There's this energy, this serotonin, like endorphin rush, right?
Mhm.
What's your
Yes.
favorite part of sharing your world? And it's a delicious world. What's your favorite part of sharing that world online?
I think that my favorite part is just the reactions, is hearing from the person who is in the location where they're not able to have a session. They're not able to interact with somebody in person ever. Culturally, income wise, they're restricted to online only. And then when those people contact me and explain this fetish or interest that they've had forever, they're just so happy to have somebody else to talk to, and I'm
Yeah.
glad to have opened their world.
Oh my God. If someone actually, they don't have to even be into the fetish. They just have to understand it or accept it. You know what I mean? Then or not shun me. A lot of people, I see that a lot. That thirst
Mhm.
in it. Now you've appeared in documentaries like Touch BDSM, podcasts. You're on a podcast right
Mhm.
now. All
Yeah.
these interviews. What's the wildest or most unexpected thing that comes from putting yourself out there in the public eye?
That's a I can't even really answer that because I haven't really had any unexpected things happen. It's kind of wild because I have such a well, I'd like to say my vanilla life is really, kind of boring. And crossing fingers, I haven't had any kind of crossover with my face out online presence. So there really hasn't been much unexpected from being online, and I consider that to be a very, very good thing because there are
Oh,
not
without a
some not
doubt.
so good stories.
Also, I think that you're what we call like you're an executive dominatrix. You're a very high
Mhm.
protocol executive level dominatrix. So people don't want to bullshit you. And
Right.
as I always preach, never waste a dom's time.
No.
Um, pretty beautiful. Okay. So you have a blog post. You have a blog post that basically says there's no I in slave, and it dives into premium content and deeper thoughts of submission. What inspired that piece?
There's been a big discussion about ego in my circle for it's been a couple of years now, and this is where we get that there is no I in slave. And a lot of people who think they are slaves or they're getting into it or even experienced slaves get very focused on their own interests and their own desires, and it's very me, me, me. And no, it is not about you. It is about me. It is about your dom, your owner. You are the property, you are the slave, and as soon as you think it's about you and you go down that track, that's when problems start.
Mm.
And you have to constantly be taking yourself back to you have to think of yourself as nobody. It is a you have to die to self.
Now, one thing, I go to Munches, I go all
Mhm,
over the kink community, especially here local. A lot of the things, a lot of the complaints that a lot of women tell me is that like, I'm talking to this sub, or I'm talking to this prospect, or talking to, whether it's professional or not, right? And they always say like, ah, they just want to use me for a kink dispenser. Right? They just wanna use me for a kink dispenser. I feel like a kink dispenser, and even as a sub, when I'm a switch, but, like, even when I sub, I kind of feel you get the frenzy, you get the hunger, and you're like, all you want is someone just to dispense some kink. You know what I mean? So, you don't wanna deal with time wasters. How do you kind of train or teach or change the dynamic so you don't feel like you're just a kink dispenser and they don't feel like they're just being dispensed kink?
well, I have a sixth sense. I mean, I say no more than any other word. If I feel like someone is looking for just a kink dispenser, then I'm there. I won't see them.
Mm,
Period. I'm looking for deeper engagement. And, maybe there were situations of being a kink dispensary back in the day, but especially now, I am not involved in that. And even with somebody who has a very specific fetish, like a foot fetish, if they do not contact me in a certain way, then I won't see them.
mm. Now you have a blog, you write a lot. I love your writing. And you also
Thank
have
you.
Reddit. So how do you use your blog and Reddit to connect with kink community in ways that sessions can't?
Well, the Reddit was because I learned that Google had changed their algorithm and they were heavily promoting Reddit more than other things, and so that's when I said, "I need to get in on this," and I like it better than a newsletter, because it's my own personal forum, so I can say whatever I want. I can moderate it all. And then I also like Reddit because it's another way to find communities like the trampling Reddits and things of that nature.
Mm.
It's just you can find what you need and you can post within it. And it's been really great to encounter people who have the same interests.
Yeah, Reddit is one thing I found very interesting on Reddit is that even if you are a gooner, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
content on there that'll lead you somewhere. You know what
Yes,
I
it
mean?
it really will.
All right, you're a world traveler. You regularly visit cities like Los Angeles, Detroit, Belgium, Antwerp. You now, do you go to Belgium already, or you're gonna go there soon?
I just came back. I
You
came
just came
back
back. That's
on,
why you're getting sick.
Wednesday of last week. Yeah.
All right. Now, as a traveler,
Mhm.
all right, in all your travels, which place do you romanticize the most?
Now I have to say I romanticize Europe because I feel like the kink is different there, and I think it's remained different in a very good way, and
Yeah.
because I also I have the good fortune of having met somebody there who has what I believe to be the the dungeon of most people's fantasies is what she has in her home, and so when I get to visit there, it's mind-blowing.
Ah. Now, how does your traveling influence? I mean, I know, but like for those who don't know, who are like don't want to travel, or I urge everyone to travel. How
Mhm.
has traveling influenced your sessions?
Hmm. Well, it's made me more efficient
Yeah.
because now I can engage in S&M with, a 2 clothespins, a, a shoelace, and a hairbrush, and I could probably do a session, and I also look at spaces completely differently. I look
Oh
at
yeah, I
I
can
look
totally
at
see that.
what location this location, what do I have to work with here?
You know what? I'm the same way. I'm because I come from the rave scene. I used to like set up
Mhm.
illegal parties in New York, like, under the Whitestone Bridge and warehouses and stuff. And now, like, I take that kind of mentality and the kink culture mentality. So everywhere I go, I'm like, this would be a good place for a party, or this would be a
Exactly. Yes.
this would be a good place for a session, or role play in the corporate office, in that conference room.
E exactly.
It's bad.
Yeah,
Like, I'm driving, like, "Oh, that hospital, they closed down that abandoned hospital. What can we do there?"
I have had some wild experiences in non-kink sanctioned places. One was in the, I don't even know if it's still called the Citibank building in San Francisco. This was in the very, very early days, and this gentleman asked me if I would come to his office and spank him there. Now, we had already done some sessions in my apartment because that's where I started when I was, a complete amateur, and I said, "Yes," and he gave me instructions, and he said, "Okay, well, of course, dress normal,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna go to this desk, and then they're gonna give you a pass, and then you have to go to a separate elevator, and then you're gonna go up there and just act like you know what you're doing," and I'm like, "I got it." And he had this big office, with the frosted, uh, glass on the side so no one could see what was going on, and it was one of the naughtiest situations I've ever had in my life. It felt so dirty doing this at this guy's work.
Oh, it's so good. I don't know what it is about it. I always think it's hot to, like, when people are, especially, like, with during the pandemic, there are conference calls, and people are on conference calls, and meanwhile, like, you know, a dominatrix makes them have a butt plug in them or something like that, or
I
like,
can never look at a man now
meanwhile,
without
it's off screen is going something completely different's happening.
yeah, everybody I see, I know what they look like naked. And I'm usually
Yeah.
implying that somebody that guy probably has lingerie on, that guy probably has a butt plug in, that guy has nipple clamps on.
Would it be wild if you could just walk down the street and see that in everybody? Because I'd say what 1 out of every 10 people or something's like hiding something, probably. Right?
Higher.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, all
No, I
right,
think it's much higher than that.
all right. I hope so. Let's talk about travels again. You're traveling all
Yes.
over the world, and this is a typical question, but I want to answer it
Mhm,
because your
mhm.
experience counts, right? Do you notice a regional difference in kink preferences between the U.S. and Europe?
I noticed king differences within the US as well as within Europe. We just had this discussion in Belgium last week, and within the United States, and I wish somebody would prove me wrong, but they have not yet. West of the Rockies, I do not find stockings to be a big deal whatsoever. Also, boots are not so much of an interest west of the Rockies. The East Coast is very much more into stockings, boots, even high heels. San Francisco from the get-go was there was a foot fetish presence, but certainly not in those fetishes.
Maybe it's the
Europe,
hills. Maybe because they're
uh,
they're real steep. The hills, the crooked street. It's hard to walk in heels down the crooked
San
street.
Francisco's been into business casual for way too long. So you don't have the fetish reinforced to see
Mm.
anybody on the street. It's just everyone's dressing comfortable and always has. East Coast, you're gonna see people wearing more gendered clothing, as it were. And then, in Europe, you're seeing clothing that is focused on the weather. So, like in Antwerp, now you're going to see a lot of women in boots, boots and skirts, boots and jeans. There's boots everywhere. There's boots, there's fur, there's coats and gloves. There's reasons to wear the things that I, wear in a different format. And the other reason why Europe has, to me, different SM interests is because they can. I mean,
Mm.
BDSM manifests differently in the different countries. You've got the Germans with, well, everything, but latex. The English with their caning, and yes, I'm being extraordinarily specific, and these countries have other things that they're into, but
Of course.
over the years,
Yeah, they're very
and
much known
then
for.
yeah, but then Southern Europe, there was a big discussion of how when you're getting towards the warmer climates in the Mediterranean, that there is less femdom activity going on.
Northern climates in the Mediterranean equals less femdom activity. Wow. Oh, wow. Did not know that. Thanks for letting us know. It's interesting.
Well,
See?
you just said northern climates. No, 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 it's just the Mediterranean um, adjacent European countries tend to have less femdom activity.
Interesting. Good to know. Good to know.
And
Uh,
that's based on uh, client contact, slave contact. Because as I was at the femdom party last week, there was a discussion of, "Oh, I have a slave from Rome," and we all said, "Wow." Not a high representation from Italy with these ladies.
huh. Interesting. All right. You shared some heartfelt posts like your 2023 farewell to a longtime boot slave over the
Mhm.
years. Um, There we go. That's right. Farewell to my local boot slave. I did a show, your YKF, with a panel episode, and losing a long-term submissive. It's a very emotional episode we had.
Mhm.
So everyone got to say goodbye on our
Nice.
show. You know what I mean?
Aw. Mhm.
Um, I have. It felt good to do that too because I was going through the pain of loss. The woman who saved my life multiple times. We were talking about this before the show. The editor of my books, she
Mhm.
passed
Mhm.
away. Um,
Mm.
and I'm still dealing with the pain of loss with that.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: How
Mhm.
you shared these heartfelt posts? What is some advice for someone dealing with the pain of loss or grief in the BDSM community?
Hmm. I think that you have to focus on the good times. I've had 3 clients die in the past 6 years, and they all were very, very special people. And you just have you have to focus on the good memories. And I'm fortunate that one person was on video. Another person just had very specific interests that I can remember. And then the last person, he was really into latex. And so now latex has this very focused remembrance of him. And I I miss these people more than the vanilla people I know who have died because we shared such specific experiences together.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to carry on their memory.
Yes, and that's what's so interesting about BDSM cultures. Like you summed it up perfectly. Such a unique, specific experience together because it's like there's certain elements that resonate with everybody, but it's very specific, which makes it even
Well,
more beautiful in the connection. I think.
here's another example. And I'm glad I get to talk about this. Carpet Kid, who was in many of my videos, I found out that he died like last year.
Oh no!
And yeah, I mean, that was horrible. And he was young. And the obituary that I found of him online was, there people were lamenting that, he was so young when he died, and they talked about his legacy. Um, and then I'm like, yeah, he really had a legacy, and I'm glad that he lives on in video. And, he might not have accomplished much or anything exciting to the rest of the world, but he certainly made an impact in our community.
That's and that's why I'm doing the show. But it's a shame, but there's a lot of people on this show who have passed away. And I mean,
Yeah.
it comes to mind Topaz Steele. Topaz Steele, an artist, a rigger from Chicago. She was great. She passed. I found out she passed away. It was absolutely
Hmm.
and people come and go in the community all the time. So a lot of us got into the community because we're dealing with loss.
Mhm.
My book, Your Kinky Friends, right, is about me dealing with the loss of my dom. She passed away from ovarian cancer.
Mhm.
What do I do? I live this kinky lifestyle, and then like she's the only one who understands me. What do I do? Will I ever find that kind of connection again? Like that
Yes.
really truly resonates with a bunch of people. Pain of loss. All right, let's clear things up a little bit. BDSM, you're an avid gardener.
Yes, I
Accomplished.
am.
Okay. What is it about things that grow and growing things yourself that you love so much?
It's completely unpredictable. You never despite your best efforts,
Good
the
point.
outcome is completely a surprise. Mother
That's what
Nature
I
is
thought about.
everybody's dom. She's the one that you beg and plead with that things will work out for an outcome that you want. And it's again, you have to. I like the fact that you have to modify your expectations. If something doesn't work out one season, well, maybe you need to change things for the following season. You have to constantly assess your local environment
Mm.
and figure out what you're doing wrong.
Now, when I first started, like when I first met you, right?
Mhm,
The woman who I was living with, Miss Melissa, was very much a gardener. We're putting on
mhm,
shows, put ourselves out there.
mhm.
And your kinky friends, we got a podcast, we have books and stuff like that. You know, we get some weird gardening BDSM stuff. Do you get any gardening BDSM requests?
No, but I've done some naughty things, like when I had to pollinate my melons. I had to turn that into I made a little clip, and I got out there with the Q-tips, and I did some porn music, and I was like, "Wow, chicka, wow, wow." I'm like, "If you guys are
Yeah.
gonna make me make you have sex, well, then we're gonna have some music."
So I got this request, and
Mhm,
the person was probably just messing with us, but still, I have to give it up to him for imagination.
mhm.
So I got this request, and they're like, Nicholas, I see that you love gardening, and I see that your Dom loves gardening. I want to be your carrot. You could dye my hair green and paint me orange and bury me up to my head in the dirt in the back. And I don't think we have enough space for that. And plus, the ground is frozen and soft, and I don't
Yep.
want to man in my backyard, with his head sticking out. Yeah, we get some wild stuff with the gardening.
But that makes perfect sense to me though, because that's a lateral request based on the beach fantasy of being buried up to one's
Mhm.
head in the beach, which is that's a bucket list. I've always wanted to bury somebody in the sand,
Like
with
Creep
just their
Show,
head, out, so that
like the
I
movie
can.
Creep Show.
I
Yeah,
guess. I mean,
yeah, yeah. In the original movie Creep Show, right?
uh
There's a
huh.
scene, there's a section in it. I think it's called "I Could Hold My Breath for a Long Time" or something like that. Right? Leslie Nielsen from The Naked Gun. Yeah, that guy. Leslie Nielsen is bad. He's a bad guy. He kidnaps Ted Danson, buries his head up to the and lets the tide just slowly come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of people want to be buried in the sand and have their head stick out, and then have my, sit in a beach chair and then put my feet on their head.
Oh yeah. Or even sit on it. We put the chair right on their face.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot
or the
of
feet. I would like the feet better,
yeah,
because the chair gets all sandy in the mouth and stuff.
right. So the carrot fantasy, I mean, that's to me is almost like a modification of human furniture and being an object.
Yeah. The fetishes we talk about on this show. All right, let's talk about art though. Right? How
Mhm.
does your art inspire kink? And how does your kink inspire art?
Well, I've kept them pretty separate, except for some recent situations. I sent you the ink drawing that I did from a
Mhm.
still in my trampling video, and that was because I was participating in the Inktober challenge, which was one ink drawing per day during the month.
Oh, that's
And I
cool. I
used
never
some,
heard.
yeah, and I took I made it a small scale, and there was a prompt every day, and the prompt was pierce, and I said, oh, okay, easy. And I used that inspiration to look at this still, and I did a drawing of my metal stiletto heel going into Trample Guy's cheek, to the wood of the cock box below.
Mm.
And I it would be cheap and easy to create femdom art. I do not want to do that. I am not an illustrator by interest, but I think that my kink informs my desire to render shoes. Like I did a lino cut of one of my favorite pairs of shoes. And there's other things that my kink has informed my art, but it's mostly also reflective surfaces are a favorite type of it's a favorite type of thing to render in my art. And of course, duh, I'm wearing PVC. So there we go.
Now you've reminded your followers that contact info is for session planning, not
Yes.
casual chats, and you always direct them to loyal fans instead. Your boundary, you set a boundary. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
there's other boundaries that you set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Everybody's got their boundaries, and especially powerful women like you. What's one boundary that's non-negotiable for you?
Oh, my complete boundary that's non-negotiable is that you're never seeing the good stuff. There's no nudity. That's just and that's for me. There's other people who are completely fine with it.
Of course.
You do you.
I t
But I'm just go ahead.
I love that as a lingerie fetishist, right? Yeah.
Well,
I
I
love
wear
it.
lingerie, but that's I'm not,
The vinyl,
I'm
the
never taking it
leather,
off.
like, I love the outfits. I'm a s I, I don't want to say a simp. I don't want to reduce it to that, but let's just say I get I get enchanted by outfits. Let's put it that way. All
But
right,
that's
3 decades.
great because so do I. I mean, I love putting them on and I love seeing myself in them, and then I love editing, watching myself in them too, because then that's this other person that I don't know at that moment.
Okay, well, here, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
When I get in the frenzy, okay, if
Mhm.
I'm locked in chastity and I'm like massaging my queen's feet
Mhm.
before we go to bed,
Mhm.
and she starts teasing. We have a primal kind of relationship, so we could be very
Mhm.
feely stuff like that. But yeah, like what what do you do when someone gets wrapped up in that moment where they're like they how do you kind of shut them down in a way that kind of keeps it going?
I see. I have never had somebody like get too handsy, as it were, because just like you were talking about how you're enchanted by the outfit throughout my entire career and even in my life just in general, people listen to me and
Yeah.
want to they don't want to offend me and they don't want to do anything. I mean, sometimes I've told someone worship my feet and then I'm like, and that means your hands too, and they're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, like get in there and do it. So that I don't have I really haven't had any problems with somebody, getting too into the
Consent is
moment and
important.
being
And what
yeah.
even like with me, like when we get like that,
Mhm.
it's sensual. It's meant to be. It's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to
Mhm. Yeah.
go into that frenzy. But vinyl, like what you're wearing right now, I'm sure a lot of people they can't even help themselves. They're just like do people like if they're sitting next to you, if they're around you, like they almost just like kind of touch your jacket without even like by instinct? Do they ever anyone do
I
that?
don't that doesn't even at fetish balls, people don't do that and they never really did it
Yeah.
and they certainly don't do it anymore because consent has been
It's very
it's
yeah,
been yeah.
rammed in
Don't
us.
touch people. Yeah. Yeah, finally.
All right. So you've been in the community for like for 3 decades, almost 3 decades,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
20 plus years. What's the biggest change you've seen in BDSM culture?
That it's not taboo anymore. That it's just like it's oh, you're kinky. Okay, cool. It's just everywhere. Every it's you got a foot fetish, cool. And there's good things and bad things with that, but it's just it's everywhere.
Do you think that's changing at all? Because I noticed that as well, where I thought when I was kinky, I thought I had all this shame
Mhm.
and I had to keep it private and all this stuff. Then I write a book and I do a podcast and I'm all, and then I feel like, oh my God, it's not that big of a deal anymore to anybody. It's not, um, and then things politically change
Mhm.
in the country, Jurassic it always does, it's a big circle,
Yeah.
Are you noticing a little paradigm shift in the way people view BDSM culture?
I I don't I don't s I don't talk about S&M with the squares, as it were.
I know.
So, I have heard people say things about it's not kinky that where I've seen the paradigm
Mm,
shift. It's more about, like, gender, but no one has ever said to me, "Oh, there's all these kinky people out there." No,
mm.
I've not heard that in the like, out in my vanilla experiences.
One thing I, always find out is that, there are a lot of makers, a lot of people make clothes, a lot of people,
Mhm,
for those because you are the vinyl queen, for those people making vinyl and leather, even latex goods,
mhm.
what do you wanna tell them?
Don't
How
use
can they
AI as your,
Ah,
promo photos. Had this experience happen in the last quarter of this year, the image that was put on Etsy had nothing to do with the final product. It was awful. So
ah,
you need to have a model, a real human being, not a mannequin,
mm.
somebody in your prototype showing what it looks like.
Okay. Now, vinyl. Oh, vinyl. How do you use the sounds, the restrictions, or the visuals to build the psychological intensity?
I don't. It does it by itself. I've never actually even thought about that. Um, once I'm in it, it influences me to move in a certain way, which then by right of that action, then
Yeah.
there are the sounds and the and then if I notice that somebody is reacting to the sounds, then I will use that against them.
Okay. So tease us a little bit before we got a little more to go, but I
Mhm.
I don't want to forget this. So what is next on the horizon? Like, the new travels, there's new content, new projects.
What I would like to be on my agenda and was on my agenda in 2025 is attending more femdom parties. I
Oh
went
yeah.
to House of Servitude in June. I was also part of the LA Bound event in November, and then I've been a part of 2 events in Europe. So that was a lot of femdom parties, and these were amazing because they were true CFNM, no men
Hmm.
were able to sit on the furniture, very strict rules, you have to check your clothing and your phone at the door, and so I am currently talking to my good friend in Belgium about making something like that happen at her amazing house in Belgium.
What's traveling like these days, actually? The world's constantly changing. So we're in 2025 is about to turn
Mhm,
2026. For
mhm,
those kinky people out there traveling, which you're doing a lot of traveling,
mhm.
what some advice would you give?
I have not, um I haven't really experienced anything negative other than just be prepared for delays. Make sure that you have snacks, water, and something that is not dependent on the planes.
A good book.
Um, well, yeah, a good book, but just make sure that you have alternative means to keep yourself entertained. You have your cables and your batteries, and I was delayed 2 hours on the way home. Not a big deal, but even so.
Yeah. Expect delays. Okay. All right. We're gonna loosen things up, Vinyl Queen.
Okay.
Rapid fire kink advice. Okay. We're gonna start off
Hmm.
slow. It's like,
Okay.
then we're gonna get a little weird and wild.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Rapid fire kink advice. You restrain
Hmm.
someone and their arm starts to go numb. What do you do?
Let it go. Get them out.
Okay. All right. Rapid fire kink advice, Vinyl Queen. A sub shows up way too high. What do you do?
They need to leave.
Need to leave. Okay. Rapid fire, rapid fire kink advice. All right. A sub that meets someone else online, wants to give them all of their money. All of their money. It's foolish and dangerous. What do you tell them?
I tell them I'll be here when you are broke and you need somebody else to talk to about your problems.
All right. Rapid fire kink advice. A sub just keeps on talking about politics that you do not agree with, and it just doesn't stop. How do you address it?
I had this happen and I politely request that they stop talking about this topic. If they continue, then I tell them that I cannot see them if they will not knock it off. And that is why someone got banished recently.
That's not the first. A very good, I'm not mentioning any names on this one, but a very, very good friend of mine. This guy would just come in and just talk politics for 2 hours. And by the end of like the 2 hours, he's like, the session's done, right? And they're like, yeah, okay. And then you get another call. All right, can I have another session? Same thing. And she's like, I can't. Like,
I wasn't trying to change his views. I just said, I just don't talk about it around me. Can we do
yeah,
that?
yeah.
And I had seen him for years and years and years. And he said, no, I'm sorry, I can't stop talking about it. And so I said, goodbye.
Ugh, I swear, some of these people are so unfuckable. Anyway, all right. Rapid fire kick advice. All right. A Dom that you know. Now, for this, I'm not saying this is hypothetical. I'm sure
Right.
people, okay?
Right.
Dom, is talking about robbing a kinkster. What do you do?
I tell her, "What are you thinking? That's like thou shalt not steal." It's kind of a basic human tenet. Don't do that.
Okay. All right. AI and kink. How you been involving with it?
I am holding out, and what I mean by that is that since I own most of my content, I am looking forward to the day when I can use AI within my own video to modify it. In the meantime, I'm holding off because I don't wanna submit my image to a company that does whatever with it. I'm using AI for my own terms with, companies that aren't like Adobe. I'm
Have you
using it
animated
within
yourself in
Adobe.
anything yet?
I've done some minor stuff, but I'm still holding out.
I keep on having this thing where people just dom me in my animate. Like I take a picture of myself anywhere, right? I'm just like, it's a add a dominatrix collaring. So I'm in front of the Spy Museum. I went to a wedding, right, in DC. So I took.
But I didn't know that word was okay because I get shut down with some of the stuff that I want to do. So thank you for that.
It's a word. Oh, I'll send you something. I'll send you some tricks. Yeah, it's fun. So like I took this wholesome picture in front of the Spy Museum in Washington D.C. Right, wholesome picture. Went to a wedding, and all I gotta do is like make sure she puts a collar on me and walks me like a dog. Boom.
But see, I've had. I guess I'm asking AI to do things that physics are getting in the way of. I asked AI to. I had a photo of myself and I was walking and you could see the back of my heels. And so I asked it to make it look like I was popping a balloon under one of the heels.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
No, can't. It won't put the balloon under the stiletto. I tried all of these prompts. It wants to put it under the front of the stiletto. It wants to do all of these things. And I just said, okay, we're not ready yet.
It's funny that even as a joke, I put in pictures like into Grok. And I'll put my name. I'll put like a picture of Nicholas Tannick in a dungeon, like chained to a desk writing a book. Because that's how I'm writing my next book. But anyway, but like it'll come up and I know I'm not famous. I know, but it's just funny how they always says that I'm Asian. It always makes me an Asian man for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, Grok, I've also found though from a client who made some very interesting videos happen. I think Grok is more friendly to alternative prompts than other AI.
Can't get. I
prove me wrong.
I'm trying to sneak it in there. I sent a picture of because I had Lady Linus on the show, and she sent me a picture of her, and she got a sub and Chastity, and I was like, what if I could like make the Chastity device dance, right? And I'm trying to with AI, nope, it wouldn't accept it. Damn it.
Yeah. Any kind of nudity, usually it says no.
Can you imagine just like a sub that Chastity device is like still singing and then, "Hi, Vinyl Queen, how are you today?"
But you could do that, but you would just have to say that it was like a flesh-colored cucumber that was in a prison cell or something like that. You have to make it be something that it is not.
A flesh-colored cucumber that was in a prison cell. I have to write that down before I forget that.
Give it a shot.
Just literally to flesh colored or colored cucumber.
Colored cucumber
in a prison cell. Just I'm gonna throw that out there as clickbait, just for people to be like, "What the hell is that?" All right, Vinyl Queen. I'm giving you a magic wand. You get one spell. It's the magic wand of misconception. There are a lot of misconceptions about the kink community. A lot of misconceptions about dominatrixes and fetishists, vinyl lovers and rubber lovers and all that stuff. You get one misconception you could erase with your magic wand of misconception. What is it?
The dominatrixes hate men.
You know what? The dominatrixes I know love men. Seriously.
But the misconception is that we hate men.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you for clearing that up, Vinyl Queen. I appreciate it. Now let's play a game of Would You Rather. You have to
Oh,
choose one or
nice.
the other.
Uh-huh.
Can't choose or. This is a very hard game, right? You choose one or the other. You can't mix it up.
Okay.
Right. A session. Would you rather have to be all psychological or all physical?
I'll do all psychological.
All psychological. Okay. How would you keep the time going with the psychological, keeping it also?
Oh, I've done this. Oh, no. He was tied to a chair. 2 hours, and, it was just because it was all about a agreed upon scenario, and then what was going to happen to him, and it was all just a big mind fuck. It was great.
So a lot of it was just like anticipation and like that was the whole thing, the journey. In other words,
Yes.
was that? I get that. Yeah, totally. Would you rather, Vinyl Queen? Would you rather experiment with a new kink or just do the standards?
I'll experiment with the new kink. I've done the
Huh?
standard so much, so yeah, experiment with a new kink.
Would you rather? Would you rather a detailed planned session or a spontaneous session that kind of just happens?
Spontaneous session.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've done too many really heavily planned ones, and they have their own pitfalls.
They do. All right. Finally, would you rather? Would you rather sensory deprivation or sensory overload?
Sensory overload any day of the week.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
What's your favorite sensory overload element? Music, feathers, wax.
You know what I consider to be a sensory overload is tickling.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You can't check out, and the terrified look on people's faces when I say, "Oh, are you ticklish?" Again, this just happened in Belgium,
Yeah.
and they go, "Yes," and I'm like, "Ha ha, buckle up, buttercup."
Like that. Sorry. Rubbing your
Yeah,
head, your fingers
exactly.
together.
Yes, exactly. It's completely evil, and someone's like, "No, please don't." I'm like,
Yeah, if anybody out there in the corporate world, if you're seeking for an HR complaint, just ask anybody if they're ticklish. Just
Yeah.
just scare them enough to send you to HR. All right.
Yes.
Final Queen, you're gorgeous. You
Thank you.
are you're present, you're in the moment.
Mhm,
I could tell that you have a purpose. There's a clarity to you. There's a there's this kink power to you that is just completely
mhm.
undeniable. You don't just wake up out of every morning just like that, do you? You got to go through a process, right? So I'm sure there's some self care rituals you go through, right? What are some
Oh,
self care
yes.
rituals that you go through that are keeping you the way you are?
Well, sunscreen, and then sunscreen with the sunscreen. I mean, that's a without, a doubt is super important, and I also think that just taking care of one's skin in general, like my feet, that's a whole every I, try to keep my feet soft. I do peels on them. There's regular pedicures. It's like tires on a car. You have to constantly maintain them.
All right. This is a silly one. Kink Olympics. If you could have any Olympic event, a kink Olympic event, what would it be?
Oh. Well, this is not kinky, but I just wanna see men's pairs skating. I wanna see 2 guys doing it.
All right. All right. All right. Chastity. Anyone locked in chastity now?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Plastic,
Yes.
silicone, or metal?
Metal for the European client, and then Slave Joe has plastic, I believe, or silicone.
I highly recommend everybody can get 15% off with offer code YKF. Um, with offer code at Locked in Lust with offer code YKF, lockedinlust.com. I
Well, I'm
highly
gonna
recommend.
check it out anyway.
Oh, yeah. But this thing, oh my God. We have a lot of fun with this, baby. Yeah, it's specially made for chastity slaves. Yeah. Um, yeah. Mhm. So, what is the longest time you've had someone locked up for?
Gosh, we just asked this question in Europe. I'd have to look at his counter. It's what Slave Joe went, I think, almost 2 years, and then my German client is, I think he's getting close to 1,000 days, but it's great because he has a blog, and on the blog, he has a counter.
Oh, wow. Oh, please put that blog. Send me that blog. I'll post it on the link. We could.
Oh, no, that's just for me. That's just so that
Oh.
but see, this is something I highly recommend because, again, when we get into slaves like me, 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 me,
Yeah.
well, okay then. Then when you're feeling very, like, "Me, pay attention to me, me, me." If you have a blog, you can put all those me feelings down there, and then your mistress can look at that when she wants to, and then she can update, find out what's going on with your life, look at your status. He changes his cage when he goes to business trips and things and has Google Drive files to show me the change of the cage, new key. It's kind of like in gambling, when the pit boss comes in and then the dealer changes out and they, nothing in my hands.
Yeah.
That's what his videos are like. So blogs are very helpful. They're akin to the old school journals, which are still useful, but it's a way to put your slave feelings down and then not bother your dom.
That is a great idea. And plus, not only that, right? Think about it this way, it documents the culture too at the same time. And I believe in the psychological value, emotional value of writing.
Yes.
It, literally getting it out of your mind, of your spirit onto the page. It makes it real. It makes your emotions validated,
And you can also spot patterns. Like,
yes,
oh,
yes, yes.
okay, last December I wrote the same thing. Well, maybe there's something that's bringing you back to why you're feeling sad during that particular month, and then you
Maybe I'm in a
can.
cycle, you know, yeah. And I noticed that I used to, I've read journals of like sex journals of, romantic things, like, and I'd give them to the people, Um, I noticed that's like, at first it's like, oh, wow, we fuck a lot. But then it's like, what, like, the average, it's great for us, but the average person is just like, wow, they just fuck a lot, or they just do a lot of kinky sex, because it gets, it gets repetitious,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. But still. All right. When was the last time you were impressed by sadism, either yours or someone else's?
Hmm. I kind of have to come back to Trample Guy because
Okay.
he's somebody who I thought that he was really only into trampling. And the guy, he's more like Steve-O, of Jackass than anybody else I know. You give him a challenge and he's up for it. He had
Hmm.
never been caned in his life.
Like,
And
yeah.
I caned him for the first time and he was like, "Ooh, that really hurt." But kept doing it.
Hmm.
He's had been whipped with two single tails at the same time. Took it. I've cut my initials into his testicles. He's there isn't really anything that the guy has turned down. It's great.
I want to sample that, like put it to a beat. That's great. All right, sissification. Has your attitude towards sissification changed throughout the years?
It has changed in that I am looking to find out someone's motivation. Now I have a new sissy who is outstanding and just Patty is just out there, really has embraced their interests and is so much fun to be around. There are also sissies that I've encountered who I believe have much more of a pathological interest,
Hmm.
and I feel like this is also somewhat generational of, you find out that the person hates their mother.
Oh,
And yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, so you're dressing up like your mother and you're being punished because." You see how that gets a little weird?
oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you find that out, then it's like, "I don't wanna see you anymore."
See, I'm trying to like kind of change the narrative with my because I mean you kink everyone kinks their own way. Um, I love like I said, I'm wearing guard belts, stockings right now. I'm
Mhm,
locked and
mhm.
tested right now. For me, it's more of a romance thing and an ownership thing. There's no
Yes.
humiliation, there's no
Yes.
degradation or anything like that. It's a yeah, it's a sexual control thing in a hypersexual, whimsical
Mhm.
way almost, but more of a romantic thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Vinyl
Yeah, so
Queen.
and I don't view it I don't I view it as fun, you know? It's
Yes.
just it's something that we do together.
Mhm. Now you were saying that, like, this new sissy is great. What makes them so
Mhm.
great? What makes a great sissy?
Patty just wants to do everything. New clothes, new shoes, new makeup, trying new looks, and really keeping an open mind, and also, not gonna lie, Patty's also not somebody who's just, like, "Okay, well, we're gonna have a session." Patty's out there. Patty's out there sucking cocks and getting fucked and, like, and then telling me about it. So, it's great. I mean, it's I love hearing all about Patty's exploits.
I wanna hear more about Patty's exploits. Have
Oh,
Patty on the show,
boy.
we'll talk about
Pa
it.
Patty's just wow.
Alright, what platforms are giving you the love these days?
X, Twitter, that's what's working,
Mm.
much to everyone's chagrin.
Yeah. Why are men so obsessed with their own assholes?
'Cause they are men. Because
That's the key
it's
question.
if you look at male creatures around the world are obsessed with their own assholes. I mean, they just do.
Alright. I'm gonna take myself out for this, right?
Okay.
And I've asked you this before, but, things are different now. It's 2025, about to be 2020.
Uh-huh.
So, Vinyl Queen, let's be whimsical for a second, imaginative.
Mhm.
BDSM is a lot about fantasy, right? King culture.
Mhm.
So let's
Mhm.
say you have endless resources. You can go
Mhm.
anywhere in the world with whomever you want,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
What is your ultimate kinky fantasy?
Oh, this is easy. I want to bullwhip someone outside. It has been an exceedingly difficult fantasy to try to achieve because of the noise. It sounds like gunshots. Has to be remote, and despite my best efforts, it has been very challenging to try to do this. I've crucified somebody outside, but I've never been able to have enough swinging room or a remote enough location to whip someone outside.
Come on, internet, we can make that happen. We got a friend here, Vinyl Queen. We got to help her out. The whole world. Come on, we need a place. And I think she has her own bullwhips. It's a good assumption, right? Come on, we need a place and we need a person. I'm sure people will be lined up. Come on, internet, let's make this happen. All right, rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related, but
Mhm.
definitely recommend a film.
Oh, I just saw a great film last night. Best Boy.
Oh, what's that about? I never even heard of that.
Actually won the Academy Award in, I believe, 1979, and it is about the cousin of a developmentally disabled man and the cousin's efforts to help this man have a more independent life because he could tell that his parents were old.
Oh,
And anybody who is dealing with older parents, anybody in their life who is incapacitated needs to have dignity in their life. And I love
yes.
documentaries, and this is a very, very good film.
I'll definitely check that out, especially because I'm dealing with my parents and everyone I love. I mean, I just turned 50. Everyone I love has either their parents are passed away or they're dealing with
Mhm,
their parents who they're dealing with their parents. Let's put it that way in age.
mhm.
Be clear with it. Thank you for that recommendation. I truly appreciate it. Recommend a song.
Everybody wants some.
I want some too. And there's a
Yes.
movie called Everybody Wants Some by Richard Linklater. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everybody.
Oh, and I love him. Oh, I'll
Oh
have to
yeah.
check that out.
It's like
Oh, no, he's
Stone
great.
Dazed and Confused.
I own that on
That movie,
DVD.
yeah, that movie. Think of Dazed and Confused, but like it's the same vibe without the pop.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it takes place in the 70s, and it's like a bunch of kids in college who are
Okay.
on a football team, so it's a very like 70s. There's a lot of like, I think there's like Fog Hat and stuff.
Nice. I
All
will
that
check
stuff.
it out.
All right, recommend a book.
Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Oh, I'm not familiar with
You
that
want to
one.
know why the world is the way it is? Just read it, because
Gun, Germs, and Steel.
Guns, Germs, and Steel, and who had those things, and then that's why the world went the way it did.
Gun, germ. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. That's way to reduce it. It's pretty. Yeah, if you think about it. Yeah, holy moly. Oh wow. All right. Recommend a meal.
Boy, I like a lot of different food. The first thing that popped to my mind is eggplant parmesan,
Oh,
because it's challenging to make it at home, and when you can find a place that does it well, go there.
good. Yeah. I've tried to make it only several times, and I was
Yeah,
not successful. Finally.
I don't wanna soak eggplant, sorry. There's a lot of things I'll do, but I'm just
Do you know what's cool though? So during the liver transplant, I was like a slave to my diet, and every week things were
Yes,
changing. Salt was the
yes.
main thing. I couldn't have salt, and everything has salt in it, right? But
Yeah.
once I did is I had an air fryer, and I took an eggplant and I made slices, just the big discs, like slices,
Mhm,
like into
mhm.
them, right? You take some of the Mrs. Dash, no sodium seasons,
Yep.
like salt, like Italian seasoning or everything,
Mhm.
whatever. You put that in the air fryer, and they make these big eggplant chips, sodium free.
Ooh,
Highly recommend
interesting.
it. Very easy to make too. Yeah. All right. Recommend art, any form of art, any medium, and or artist, living or dead.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go for not the low-hanging fruit, and I'm gonna say that, especially for kinky people, just check out Mark Rothko,
Oh,
because field
yeah.
paintings, they're challenging. Abstract art is very challenging, and there is, a museum that I cannot remember the name of in Washington, DC, that has actually a Rothko viewing room, and there is no talking inside. And it
Oh,
is
wow.
beautiful. It's just you go in there and you just I think it's the
Nice. All
Phillips
right.
collection.
The chat's blown up. Chat's blown up. Chris Bacos says, "Hello, Nick.
Oh,
Hello,
I know him.
Your Majesty." Chris Bacos, the regular on the show. The Lady Lioness, Club Femme, New Jersey. Oh, she's got it going on. We host shows together. We're gonna start hosting more shows.
Nice.
We got a knife show. The YKF knife show is coming up. Uh,
Ooh,
Lady Lina says, "Hello, Nick and Mistress VQ. I love that you're talking about trampling. It's a delicious fetish, and I don't see it often anymore in public.
yeah.
Hey, bringing it back, you two. All right, yeah, that's good. And you know what? Actually, it's funny. As soon as we started talking about trampling, a light went off in me too, because there's people who ask in the chat always, "Do you ever trample a male?" And that's why I made a joke about it too. So thank you for bringing that in and talking about it.
Mhm.
Stan Vladimir asked the Stan question: if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it in your kinky life?
Ooh, how do you would I use it in my kinky life? I
I'll give a quick.
probably would make I would make people tell the truth.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I love that you did that. All right, Stan Vladimir. One of my favorite quotes: "What is grief if not love persevering?" All right.
Mhm.
These are a little old. Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen, creepy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nick, I have an idea. If the carrot idea doesn't work, he could be a scarecrow. Oh, okay.
that's totally valid. It might
PD.
actually work to keep the birds and critters out.
That's true. PD asks, do you enjoy domestic servitude, goddess? If you do, what are the tasks and rituals your personal domestic slaves have to perform?
Making coffee, cleaning, um, maintaining my shoes, which is a kind of a constant process because as time goes on, vinyl falls apart.
Mm.
So to try and extend the life of certain shoes, learning the glues to make things go back to their, better state.
So you literally have to put pieces back together and keep them together.
Yeah.
You
If the
talk.
insole starts to come out, you have to glue it back down.
I'm glad you informed us of that. Okay. He also asks, what are some of the most humiliating and degrading things you've done to a slave goddess?
That I'm not going to answer because I know where that's going. Sorry, you're not getting that one for free.
Not a cake dispenser, right?
No.
Randy Bateman, I'm totally enchanted by outfits too. And then we have
Good.
what's it? Doriamon Hungama, Mistress Vinyl. Do you like ball busting? And yes, what is your favorite way to do it?
I've been doing it for years, and boots are probably my favorite way to do it. I like kicking. And I do it with hands as well, but if I'm going to be doing it with my feet, boots definitely.
PD asks, if you want to make some kinky Christmas treats to feed your slaves, what would they be?
I don't want to make
Assuming you sell
Christmas treats. I've already I've baked competitively in the past, so I don't make a lot of treats anymore because I also feel like slaves eat too many treats. So I'm gonna pass on that because I'm
Okay,
just not
wow.
making
Okay.
treats this year. Ugh.
PD, sorry, you got shut down, my friend. Sorry. All right. Samara Dash asks, what are your thoughts about chastity? What's the longest? We did answer that.
Yeah.
Google Images no longer will do reverse images on fetishes and DOMs. Delasky says. So I guess this guy was doing
Interesting.
reverse images searches. And then mistresses, thoughts on ruined orgasms, favorite ways to do it, and what's your reaction normally and when it happens?
Not answering that. Sorry, not getting it for free.
The lady Lioness says, wonderful interview. So many great topics covered. Love your rapid fire recommendations. And then, of course, Stan, I knew this was coming in a beautiful way. Stan asks, what are your thoughts on medical play?
Not a fan. I
Not
mean,
a
piercing.
fan.
I do piercing and cutting, but I'm not into scrotal infusions. I don't like medical rooms. Sorry, I don't find it sexy. So
Understand it can be very traumatic for some people.
I don't
Which
find it
actress
sexy.
would you love to have as a dom partner, and which actor would you love to have as a sub?
Oh, well, the actor is easy. Chris Maloney from
From Oz and SUV and all that.
Yes. See, nobody else knows about Oz. Yeah,
I
oh gosh, he
knew
was
him from
great in
Oz.
Oz.
He was awesome in Oz.
Oz.
Incredible.
Oh, I could watch that again and again. An actress to have as a dom partner. Yeah, Peter.
Who?
I don't even. I would love to still have Linda Carter. I don't care how old she is. Yeah,
Right
that's
on.
the ultimate dom partner. Yes.
Totally. And that whole Mr. Shari from Mistress Manor, my people from Jersey. She has like a big, story behind the whole femdom mystique and how the creators of that comic book, or the creator of the comic book, is incredibly into femdom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, really deep. Pretty beautiful. All right, word association game. We're wrapping things up. So just kind of rapid fire word association game. I'm going to say a word or a phrase. You say the first thing that comes to your mind. There's no wrong answer. Only thing is we ask you if you don't kink shame. Then we have the jar. I don't know what's in this jar. There's little pieces of paper. We're in this together.
Okay.
All right. Remember, there's no wrong answer. All right. If I say chastity, you could say lock. If I say chastity, you could say, and you're thinking of, I don't know, what was the recommendation? You're thinking of some movie, or Everybody Wants Some. That song. You could say Everybody Wants Some. Yeah. There's no wrong answer. All right. Vinyl catsuit.
Northbound leather.
Leather boots.
Little shoebox.
Chastity.
Forever.
Fire play.
Be careful.
Knife play.
Non-sharp edge.
Sissy hypno.
No idea.
Or just hypno.
I don't get into it. I've never done it.
Oh, face slapping.
Support the head.
The daddy baby girl dynamic.
Not a fan.
ABDL.
Not a fan.
Puppy play.
It's cute.
Leather gimps.
Great.
Notice I had to spell gimps with spaces because it wouldn't accept
I
it.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Electro.
Make sure your batteries are fresh.
That's true. All right, pallet wrap, saran wrap.
Have safety scissors.
Primal play.
I don't even, what is that?
Very animalistic. Just a lot of biting, a lot of scratching, a lot of, very
maybe.
primal play.
That's the word you get.
Okay. Crocodile whips.
Meaning whips made out of crocodile hide or?
Yes. Exactly. Okay.
I don't have any, so.
All right. Asphyxiation collar.
No, not interested.
All right, we're going into the jar. Let's see what we have.
I'm very weird about breath play, so.
All right. Butt plugs.
This is another association?
Yeah, butt plugs.
Don't lose them.
Inside you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's scary when that happens.
Well, it's also like if you lose it, like if you're traveling, you go home to see your parents for Thanksgiving, don't lose them. Don't leave them in the house with your cousin's house.
Yeah.
All right, lace.
Yes. It's a great, it's actually trending, and I have a series of lace tops now.
Oh. Forced feminization.
I love it. I mean, that's forced feminization. Anything with, of course, we can't really say the first word anymore. Remember, in content, we can't say that. So,
okay, piss.
Nope.
And I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Toilet coffin.
What is that? I mean, is it for toilet play or I don't even know what this is. Yeah.
All right. How can kinky people make money? I mean, you have like this empire, right? And you have experience. I mean, you're a legend. You really are. You have this huge following. You're gorgeous. You have, you're intelligent. You have skills. You have this wardrobe that's magnificent. Not everybody's like you. Not everybody's got it like you. So, but still, they're kind of they need to make money to survive, support the community and themselves. How can the average kinky person make money?
I think this is true of anybody anywhere who is looking for a side gig. There is a formula, and you have to get on social media. You have to get a certain number of likes. I know it's challenging when you're kinky, but you can, you have to get onto one of the adult sites, OnlyFans or Loyal Fans, and then find a way to promote it within the restrictive confines that we have. And you just post, find your niche. Don't try and do everything. Find a niche and stick with it.
Yeah. Build your skill.
Yeah.
Build your skill. You know what I mean? What advice would you give to yourself that you wish you'd learned sooner?
I wish that I had considered the implications of my name better, because it has actually been a detriment more than anything else. Yes, there were people back in the day who did not come to see me, true story, because they thought that I was transgender because my last name is Queen. Yep. True story. Then by not having an honorific, people were, this is why I'm referring to myself as Mistress VQ now, people were again confused. What are you? So you need to be clear about your name, and of course, without social media or not even understanding which way I was going to go with this, I chose the name and ran with it.
You know what though? I have to admit, as someone who curates kinky people,
Hmm.
I view this as art. I'm not just some like gooner. I'm just, not that
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with that, anything like that, but I have a purpose here, right?
Hmm.
And your name stands out. It has always stood out because of that.
So there we
Because of
go. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at least for me, it did. As someone who
Yes.
categorizes all this stuff and puts it together, your name stuck out. And like I remember, like when you reached out to me again, because there was some logistics about the accessibility of your old interview. I was thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled. I knew who you are. I was like, oh God, oh thank you. I was just so stoked to see you,
Cool.
talk with you again. You know what I mean? I have to admit that your name, that unique name, just makes you stand out. That's you know, my book kind of stands out. The cover, the title, kind of, it's a little different.
Hmm.
So I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Because everyone's a mistress or a goddess or queen, stuff like that.
True.
You switched it. You made it. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap things up. We're all looking for something. Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
I want my kinky path to just take me to meeting more people. That's always been my life goal, is to
Yeah.
engage in kink with as many people as possible. Somewhere, some way, somehow.
Engage, engage in kink with as many people as possible. You know what? I feel the same exact way. And that's why I'm doing the show.
Mhm.
There's a loneliness epidemic in this country, in this
Yes.
world, in this, you know what I mean? And when people are on their deathbed, they don't ask for like their stuff. They ask for people. You know what I mean? So
And
I
for the experiences that they wish that they had
um,
had. You
yeah.
really should be living your life. If you wrote your
Mhm.
obituary tomorrow,
Yeah.
would it be interesting? And if the answer is no, change it.
Yeah. Then start a munch. If it's nothing's going on in your area, make it happen in your area. It's your environment. You create it. You can make it horrible. You can make it better.
Mhm.
Um, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's finish this up.
Yes.
Please.
And thank
Yes,
you for what you do. I mean, you've been doing it. Please come with this life is transitory.
it is, without a doubt. You get one life. Like time is too expensive. Let's love each other.
Mhm.
Let's kick out, have a good time, and do something. Let's make some connections. So please complete the sentence. Life is
I said that transitory. That was my
transitory.
completion of it. Yeah, I
Life
did.
is
I
trans-
completed it for you.
Ah, thank you very much. Vinyl Queen, you are absolutely amazing. We have some other quotes. Hot pink lady. Hi, Nick. Hi, Miss VQ. It's been ages since I caught the podcast live. I have to go back and listen. Sunshine, my key holder says, welcome, Mistress VQ. We're honored to have you on YKF. Thank you for spending
Mhm.
time with us tonight. She produces the show. As you can see, there's
Nice.
better production value on the show now because I
Yes.
have a producer.
Yes. Very professional.
Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. And so one last thing. How can people get in touch with you? How can people support you? How can people get the word out about you? How can people, give you money?
Well, I mean, there's my website,
Mhm.
vinylqueen.com. There's my membership site, official Vinyl Queen on Loyal Fans. I'm on X. I'm have my Reddit, and I have my Discord server is something new, and that's in the links as well. Get on there, and if enough people get on there, I'll get in there and chat and voice from time to time. I have many different platforms, so hit me up.
Yeah, I'll get on there. I'll get on there and I'll you know, hopefully I'll inspire some goodness and uh,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much, Miss VQ. I I love what you do. And you were one of the people. I've said it to other guests. I have, and I do meant it. And I want to make a point of saying it to the people. When I was sick in the hospital, seeing you on Twitter, on Instagram, and just follow you. The fact that you were on my show, the fact that I know you, but not only that, the fact that you're still doing it, you're still kinky, and you're still doing it like with an individual style, with your like you become this person, this icon of inspiration in the kink community. That helped me get through. That helped me get through
Good.
the toughest times in the hospital and liver transplant, the loneliest times in the hospital. You
Mhm.
know, kink can be a very lonely thing. You're into all this weird stuff. And you can have all the friends in the world. But if you're dying in a hospital, it's
Right.
just. So thank you for that. Stuff like that. It made me want to get healthier, get out there,
Good.
get some clothes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get some vinyl, right?
Mhm.
You know, get healthy to get some money so I can get vinyl, stuff like that. So thank
Right.
you, Green. I truly appreciate the inspiration that you have been to me and also everybody in the kink community. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you for and can keep up with the interviews.
I'm trying. We got some cool stuff planned. Definitely. Everybody out there,
Nice.
please read a book. The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself. This is how I became Nicholas Tannick. It's filled with hard drugs, kinky sex, and an endless amount of music references. It's a nice snapshot
Nice.
into the 90s rave scene in New York City. And also take your broken heart, make it into art. You're dealing with the pain of loss. Hopefully this book helps. It's a true story about how I dealt in the kink community, how I dealt with the pain of loss, and how my friends are dealing with it, and how we all kind of stuck together. And yeah, was kinky. So yeah, read a book. 15% off all inventory at lockedinlust.com with offer code YKF. And please listen to us on Spotify. That's where you're gonna get it. This goes up on Spotify. This is gonna be taken down off YouTube, just so you know, because if there's any questions, and then it goes on Spotify for a little while. And then because every guest is equal, I have to treat them with respect. They come out once a week, and luckily I got enough guests. So thank you very much, and please go to yourkinkyfriends.com. Mistress VQ, it's going to be a great week. It's Monday. It's going to be a great year.
Yes.
Because you're in it and you're doing it. Everybody, help a kinkster out. Kink helps kink. Be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Take care.
Kinky